Shalom, everyone. Ephesians 6:12. Because we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against authorities, against the world rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Now that is exactly what we're dealing with in this world. That is exactly what is behind these programs of targeting, gangstalking, electronic harassment, and directed energy weaponry. Yes, indeed, there are people. There is no shortage of reprobate minds out there who are willing to carry out just evil and attacks on their fellow man, woman, and child this world over. Unfortunately, that is the case. And yes, they are, in many cases, they are paid to do these things, low-level perpetrators, that is. And this is just an example of our fallen nature. The fallen nature of man is that people will act selfishly. They will act in ways in which they can benefit, regardless of the expense that it may cause others. Now, to illustrate the point that was just read in Ephesians 6:12, I want to read from Ted Gunderson's affidavit, from his 2011 affidavit regarding the existence of targeting programs. Okay, now Ted Gunderson was 27 years in the FBI. When he retired, he was special agent in charge of the Los Angeles division. So he has a very credible word regarding these matters. Now, what is unusual about Ted Gunderson is that he was one of the very, very few coming from the FBI who had the guts to stand up and publicly speak out against these matters and do everything that he could to expose the crimes of the ruling class of this world, this new world order, okay, and to do everything that he could about it. And yes, he experienced targeting and stalking himself, but he was just simply not afraid of it. Now, he wrote in his affidavit from 2011, "This conspiracy is far too active to be controlled or operated by private enterprise whose goals are achieving financial gain. These operations require extensive financing with no return on the investment." Okay, that is a very, very key point there. And also, to back up that point, another FBI agent, he was a former agent from 1971 and 1978. His name is Gerald Sosbee, Geralsosbee. He has a website, I believe it's called Sosbee v. FBI. Go check that out. But he writes in his 2014 affidavit regarding these programs. Now, he himself was a victim of targeting, which I believe he said began in 1988, and it was because of his whistleblowing against wrongdoing in the FBI. Okay, now this is what he wrote. "I estimate the cost of the unlawful FBI program against me over the past 25 years to be less than $1 million per year, totaling about $20 million to the taxpayers." Okay? Think about this. Now, I've stated this in a video that I made just a few days ago about the FBI. $20 million. If his estimates are correct, that is $20 million to target, to stalk, to harass in an attempt to ruin this person's life and perhaps even to kill him. $20 million for one person. And there are just countless multitudes of people worldwide who are victims of these programs. Now, this just kind of is meant to bring out the point that this is not about financial gain. This is not about profit. It is, just like it reads in Ephesians 6:12, this is about spiritual wickedness. This is about evil. This is about the degradation of humanity. This is about the degradation of Yahuwah's creation, us, okay? Because at its core, this is spiritual wickedness and this is Satanism. And people are used to carry out this satanic conspiracy. Okay? Now, there is a quote by JFK, Secret Society speech. You can go to online and find this out, or you can go to YouTube rather. It's a 19-minute speech. It's about the 10-minute mark where he begins to say, "For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy." He then goes on to say that this is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine. Okay, now this is an example. And he said this in 1961. And what these men are saying in these affidavits, okay, that is an example of just that. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources to carry these things out. Think about the level, the sophistication, and the people involved in orchestrating and carrying out these programs of targeting. Okay, the tightly knit, highly efficient machine that he is referring to is simply this conspiracy itself. Okay, but I've said this before, without any doubt, people on their own could not and would not carry out such a conspiracy over generations because it is too sophisticated, it is too diabolical. It is being spiritually directed, and Satanism is the core root of this conspiracy. Now, I really want to bring out, this is one of the reasons why I'm making this video right now, is because there is an excellent documentary from 2011 from the channel Face Like the Sun. It is called Age of Deceit, Fallen Angels and the New World Order. I watched this a few years ago, and it's a very good watch. It's 2 hours and 31 minutes long. It's well worth a watch. I'm going to include a link in the description box below to this video, but why I'm bringing this up is because specifically between the 1 hour and 11 minute mark and the 1 hour and 26 minute mark, there is a particular discussion about UFO abductions. Okay, this UFO and alien abduction phenomena, which was big in the early 90s. There was a lot of interest in that at that time. And I used to really be interested in that and studied that and read a lot of books about it, but I realize now that this phenomena is just demonic manifestation. Okay, now the reason why I'm bringing this up is because in this 15-minute window on this documentary, 1 hour 11 minutes to 1 hour and 26 minutes, what is discussed is that there is testimony regarding how to end the experience, this terrifying experience of so-called alien abduction. Is people are talking about how they have called out to the name of Jesus, and that is how it stops. Okay, so I encourage you, simply watch this for yourself and meditate on this, because this is a very big deal. Okay. Also, I made a video a couple days ago. It is entitled Ron Wyatt, Yahushua's Blood on the Mercy Seat. Watch this as well. It is less than 11 minutes long. It is well worth a watch. It is simply from the testimony of this man, Ron Wyatt, regarding how he was directed by the Father to locate the Ark of the Covenant, okay, in Israel. And on that Ark of the Covenant was dried blood. And he was directed by messengers to have this blood analyzed. And this video is about his testimony regarding that. Okay, now why I'm bringing this out, this video is about solutions to this sorcery, to this phenomena, to this extremely wicked worldwide phenomena of targeting, gangstalking, targeting of people and gangstalking and electronic harassment, directed energy weaponry. Okay, what everyone needs to know, John chapter 14 verse 6, Yahushua said to him, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Okay, now backtrack for a moment. I was just saying that in this video, Age of Deceit, Fallen Angels in the New World Order, there is testimony about people calling out to Jesus, and the experience will end. And he is the solution, okay, because he is the one that can override this demonic phenomena. These demons, they tremble at him, okay? Yeah, they believe in him, all right. They're not doers of his word, but they believe in him, and they tremble. Okay, there are far too many people out there who are believers in him, but who are not doers of his word, and they do not tremble at him, because there are false teachings in these Protestant Christian churches, and we're going to get into that a little bit here in a moment. But okay, so they call out to the name of Jesus. However, this is not really his true name, because there was no J in the Hebrew language. His true and correct Hebrew name is Yahushua. I leave links in every video that I make regarding the name of the Father and the name of the Son, okay, and there will be in this video as well. Restoring the Creator's name is an excellent teaching by Messenger of the Name regarding the Father's name. It's an hour and 10 minutes long, well worth the time. Also, also by messenger of the name is, what is his son's name? It's an hour and 48 minutes long, and it is a teaching about the name of Yahushua. Now, he will respond to the name of Jesus as evidenced by the testimony in the video, Age of Deceit, Fallen Angels and the New World Order. But this is essentially his nickname. That is the best you could call it, would be his nickname. So it's kind of like if everyone knows you by a name that is not really your name, and someone calls to you from down the street in that nickname, you are so used to responding to it that you will respond to it. You'll not just shun this person. You know that they are calling to you. Likewise, the Messiah knows that you are calling to him, so he will respond in this way. However, I propose to you that there is power in the name of Yahushua, his true name. Call on this name. Call on the name of Yahuwah for the Father. Okay? Now, as I just read, John 14:6, this is a matter that cannot be overlooked. He is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through him. Now, Ron Wyatt, I also watched this a couple days ago. He brings out Psalm 89:34. This is important. Psalm 89:34 reads, I shall not profane my covenant, neither would I change what has gone out from my lips. Okay, now this is the Father speaking regarding his covenant, the old covenant, the Torah, the Ten Commandments, okay? It reads, neither would I change what has gone out from my lips. Of course, his word does not change, okay? So consider that, okay? Now, Proverbs 28:9. He who turns away his ear from hearing the Torah, even his prayer is an abomination. Okay, now, I am simply, bringing together a point, a theme on this, okay? And that is being a doer of his word, being a keeper of the Ten Commandments, the proper appointed times that are laid out in the Torah, as well as the dietary laws that are laid out in Leviticus. Okay? So just take note of these verses that I'm reading. Make a note of them. Study this for yourself. Just like Paul writes. Okay, be a Berean. Go search these matters out for yourself. Okay? Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Now this is Yahushua addressing the assembly of Philadelphia. Okay? And it reads, Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because you have guarded my word of endurance, I also shall guard you from the hour of trial which shall come upon all the world to try those who dwell on the earth. Okay, so what's being said here? You guard my word, and I will guard you. That is the covenant. Okay? John chapter 7, verse 16. Okay, so what is his word that he's referring to here? Okay? John chapter 7, verse 16. Yahushua answered them and said, my teaching is not mine, but his who sent me. Now who sent him? The Father, Yahuwah. Okay? Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 3. Seek Yahuwah, all you meek ones of the earth, who have done his right ruling. Seek righteousness, seek meekness, if so be that you are hidden in the day of wrath of Yahuwah. Seek him who have done his right ruling, who are doers of his word, so that you may be hidden in the day of wrath. Okay, this ties in exactly with what was just read in Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because you have guarded my word of endurance, I shall guard you. Okay, walk in my ways, seek righteousness, do righteousness, be a worker of righteousness, and I will guard you. Okay, I want to read a few great prayers from the book of Psalms. Now, I encourage you, just get into the book of Psalms yourself. Okay, seek him in the word which is very much alive. Okay, I just want to read a few here as examples of what is in the book of Psalms. Psalm 97:10. You who love Yahuwah hate evil. He guards the lives of his lovingly committed ones. He delivers them out of the hand of the wrong. What would his lovingly committed ones do? They would be doers of his word. They would guard his commandments. They would seek to do them and to please him in this way. Okay. Now, very commonly known prayer in the book of Psalms is Psalm 91. It's a prayer of protection. Okay, so I just want to read a few verses out of that. This is Psalm 91, verses 9 through 11. Because you have made Yahuwah, my refuge, the Most High, your dwelling place, no evil befalls you, and a plague does not come near your tent. For he commands his messengers concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. I'll tell you what, in these days of darkness, I want that, and I'm seeking that, because without his protection, these demonic forces can just have their way with people. They're smarter than you. Remember that. These demonic forces, Satan, they're smarter than you. Okay? But, if Yahuwah fights for you, who can be against you? These demonic forces certainly cannot. Okay, Psalm 91, verse 14. Because he cleaves to me in love, therefore I deliver him. I set him on high because he has known my name. Now, this is one example right here of the importance of calling on his name, calling on the name properly and correctly, showing him that respect. And again, I've mentioned this before. In the Ten Commandments, there is the commandment of thou shalt not bring my name to nothing or to naught or to take it in vain. If you are calling on his name correctly, if you are a doer of his word, you are keeping that commandment. Okay, Psalm 64:2. Hide me from the secret plans of the evildoers, from the tumult of the workers of wickedness. Okay, now this is one of my favorites. I've read this before in another video. Psalm 141, 8 through 10. But my eyes are upon you, O Master Yahuwah. In you I take refuge. Do not pour out my life. Guard me from the clutches of the trap they have laid for me, and from the snares of the workers of wickedness. Let the wrong fall into their own nets while I pass by. Now, go check out Psalm 141, 8 through 10 for yourself. Read it, remember it. Then go to the book of Daniel and read Daniel chapter 3 and Daniel chapter 6 and see how that plays out exactly in those chapters and regarding the protection of his people who are lovingly committed, in this exact manner right there. I'll let you go read these chapters for yourself. Begin to seek him in the Word, for these are the solutions to this sorcery and this wickedness known as targeting and gangstalking. Thank you for listening.